Welcome to the Bag Chatter podcast, and welcome to another sort of solo pod. Brian and I just got back from a wonderful weekend with the Chasing Scratch crew in North Carolina. But after 5 days together, I think the thought of talking to me more on the mics just sounded like a bit much. Don't worry though, for those of you who crave the calming timbre of Brian's voice, it will be heard throughout the episode as he narrates the match you were about to hear. In the summer of 2023, I got a Twitter message from a listener named Casey Bartley. Though we had never spoken, I recognized his name because he had been the most vocal skeptic of my assertion that I could beat LeBron in more sports than he could beat me in. Rather than questioning whether I could beat King James in lawn darts, this time Casey had a proposal for me. Casey had made a championship belt, which he had dubbed the Chasing Scratch Heavyweight Championship Belt. He challenged me to a match to determine who would be the inaugural Chasing Scratch Heavyweight Champion of the world. I certainly met the necessary requirements for the weight class, and I accepted his challenge. We played the match at the stunning Tobacco Road just outside of Pinehurst. The match was tight on the front nine, but I made a run on the back and won the match 4-3. This belt is the real deal. It's made of red leather and bears the Chasing Scratch logo on the front and has a shark and a polar bear on each hip. The belt was placed around my waist, despite me being team agnostic on the shark-bear debate, and I brought it home to Pennsylvania. I did not bring it home without issue, however. I stuffed the belt into my backpack and I put it through the metal detector at the airport, leading to the first and only time I have been randomly selected for additional screening. We're gonna shoot straight with you. We need to know what is in this bag as it looks very suspicious. That's what the TSA agent told me. I want you to imagine the dumbest thing it could be, and I promise you it will be dumber, I said. He removed the belt and he laughed. I got a laugh from a TSA agent, and in my opinion, that's near the top of the hierarchy in terms of laughs. Several people over the last year have stated their case as the number one contender for the belt, but I knew my title defense would be illegitimate if I didn't give Casey a second shot to claim the crown. The first title defense was scheduled to take place on the first day of the Chasing Scratch 2-day tournament held at Riverbend Golf Club in Shelby, North Carolina. I showed up to the driving range with the belt wrapped around my clubs. People examined the belt and chided Casey for making a Chasing Scratch belt and then immediately losing it to another podcast. Shortly after greeting Casey, I went to the putting green and Casey came by in a full knee-high skip. Brian leaned over to me. "I think you're gonna win," he whispered. Casey later told us that he was dealing with a tight hip. Did I take this as an early excuse? Perhaps. But to be fair, he could have had an orthopedic surgeon there describing the hip replacement he had performed on Casey the day before, and I still would have thought of it as an excuse. So perhaps this one's on me. I've been wearing a brown leather glove recently, and on the first tee, Casey asked me if I had killed a cow for it. I asked him which target he had gotten his glove at, and we were off. We both hit good tee shots off one, and after Casey found the front of the green, I hit a wedge a bit thin and it one-hopped into a back bunker. I had left myself short-sided with the green running away from me. I managed to land my bunker shot just barely out of the bunker, and it trickled down to about 8 feet. After Casey two-putted, I stroked my putt to tie the hole. I thought I missed it left, but it caught the left edge and fell into the cup.
All right, we're all square for the belt match through one hole. How you feeling?
Feel good. I left myself in an impossible position and got up and down somehow to tie the hole. That felt great. Needed that.
Yeah.
And we're even par through one?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, good start.
My drive on the par 5 second found the fairway, and Casey's found the left rough, forcing him to lay up short of the water that protected the front and left of the green. I went for the green, but bailed out away from the water and left myself a delicate 20-yard pitch. Casey bladed his approach over the green, and I hit a pretty good one to about 7 feet.
All right, second hole, par 5. Casey makes a great up and down to save par. Adam has 7 feet. for birdie. Dead center. Adam goes 1 up in the match.
I hit a poor tee shot on the par 3 third, leaving me about 50 feet away and above the hole. Casey was just short of the green, but only about 20 feet away. I 3-putted to lose the hole. This was the first time something interesting happened, though I didn't realize it at the time. Upon winning the hole, Casey confirmed the score with me. All square, Adam? Yes, sir, I said. This would happen every hole for the next several hours. More on that later. We both gave ourselves decent looks for birdie on the par 4 fourth. I was out, maybe had 25 feet, and left my putt right in the jaws, just short where my par was conceded. Casey proceeded to step up and drop in his birdie putt at perfect speed, right in the heart. 1 up, Adam? He confirmed. Yup. I drove the ball pretty well all weekend, with hole 6 in round 1 being the large exception. It's a reachable par 5, and I decided I was going to take an aggressive line and cut off a big chunk of the corner. Instead, I topped it into the heather below the tee box. It took me 3 swings to get out of the long grass, and the hole was over. 2 up, Adam? I'm afraid so, I said. We tied holes 6, 7, and 8 uneventfully. I really needed a spark. While waiting for the fairway to clear on 9, I told Brian that this was a big hole. The 9 hadn't felt great, but if I could make the turn at only 1 down, I would feel really good about my chances. I missed the green with my approach, but hit a great chip to about 2.5 feet to lock up a par. Casey had a swinging 30 to 35 foot putt for birdie. When he hit the putt, it was clear that it needed to slow down. It looked to me like it was going to run 10 or 12 feet by, but the line was good. Do it, Casey's partner said as it was tracking towards the hole. It did it. The ball poured into the hole, center cut. Dagger. I was suddenly 3 down after 9 holes, a fact that Casey announced as we walked off the green. That would have felt really good.
All right, we just took the turn. We're sitting here in the 10th fairway. Par 5. Adam and I both hit good drives. Casey might have a touch of tree trouble, but he might be able to fade something in. Adam is 3 down right now with 9 to play. He needs to make a move. He knows it. And he's going to do it. And we are 1 under on our better ball. And we're going to try to make a move on that as well.
Casey would hit that approach shot to the left of the green where it looked from my angle to be dead in a bunker, but it actually rolled through the bunker into a pretty good spot. I hit my approach into the par 5 a little long and right onto the back fringe where I thought I would be putting. His pitch ran a little long, and it turned out that I needed to chip mine. I could have putted it, but I didn't trust how the ball would react through the Bermuda grass, a problem that had plagued me all day. I hit a terrible chip that wound up about 15 feet short of the hole. Casey ran his putt well past the hole, and I knew I likely just had to 2-putt to win the hole. I hit my ball gently and watched in horror as the downhill, down-grain Bermuda raced the ball 7 feet beyond the hole. Casey missed his, and then I burned the edge from 7 feet. We tied with bogeys after both being greenside on a par 5 in 2. I felt like I could easily have tied the match over holes 9 and 10, and instead I was somehow 3 down. I had no momentum whatsoever, and time was running out. I had 8 holes to dig myself out of a 3-hole deficit when I hit what looked to be a good drive up the right side on 11.
We're looking for Adam's drive on the 12th hole. It was a good drive up the right side with a little bit more leak than he wanted, but none of us thought that it would be in any kind of trouble, and now we can't find it. And if he loses his hole because of that, that is probably ball game. 4 down with 7 left on a lost ball on a good drive. That's dagger material. So we're about a minute and a half into the search at this point. Not good.
I reached a dark place in the midst of that search. I remember saying the words, "Not like this," under my breath. To my great relief, Brian eventually found my ball, sitting under a leaf, down in the rough.
Incredible turn of events. I found the ball in the right rough. Adam hits it to 15 feet. Casey makes a 5, it doesn't matter. Adam drains the birdie putt. Get us back to 2 under to get him to only 2 down. Huge, huge swing.
We tied hole 12 and I hit a good drive off the 13th tee. Casey had hit a few wayward drives that he'd gotten away with, and to be honest, this one took the cake. He pulled his drive about 45 degrees left into the middle of the driving range, which I initially thought had to be out of bounds. But I then realized there were no white stakes. He found his ball and had a clear shot to the green, while my ball, a foot into the rough, sat on a horrible deadpan lie with a large chunk of grass behind it. Casey did what you're supposed to do and took advantage of the break and hit a great approach to 15 feet. I tried to hit down on my ball, but there was just no way. It came out wonky, knuckling, low, and left. I pitched to maybe 10 feet, but it didn't matter. Casey made the birdie putt, and it put my back fully to the wall. "3 up, Adam?" he bellowed. "Yup," I replied. I was frustrated. I was upset. I felt like I hadn't gotten a break and that I probably wasn't gonna get one. I crashed into the cart with an exasperated thud. "Hey, Casey, we know what the score is," I said to Brian. Is there a chance that I was salty because I was losing and these score confirmations were perfectly normal? Perhaps. Maybe. There's no way to know. He pulled his drive left on 14 and did not get away with this one. It wound up on some roots under a tree. I hit maybe my best drive of the day, and when he punched into a greenside bunker, my approach shot to 10 feet was good enough to win the hole. "2 up, Adam?" "Yes, sir," I said, less annoyed. I hit a mediocre drive on 15, leaving myself 275 yards to the pin on this reachable par 5. I pulled my 2-iron and hit one of my best shots of the day. I hit a low draw that landed about 20 yards in front of the green and rolled up into the middle of the green, pin high. I had left myself 20 feet for eagle. When I tapped in my 2-putt birdie to win the hole, something curious happened. "2 up, Adam?" Casey asked as he walked off the green. I stopped in my tracks. "No, 1 up," I said. This was questioned, and I clarified that I had been 3 down and had won the last 2 holes. That is 1 up, after all. As we went back over the holes, there was some hemming, and if you can believe it, a little hawing. I don't know if this was a mind game or an honest mistake, but I do know it was the last time in our match that a score was called out as we walked off the green. We established that I was indeed 1 down, and Brian took to the mics.
We are on 16T. Casey's lead is now 1. Adam 2-putted for birdie on the par 5 15th. Casey made par. Adam is on the green on this par 3. He's got about 30 feet. Casey has left his short. He's going to have about 60 feet, and he's going to probably have to chip it. Advantage Adam, but they easily could both make par here.
Casey failed to get his ball up and down from in front of the green, meaning that I only needed 2 putts to tie the match after being down 3 with 5 to play. This made it especially stupid when I blew my first effort past the hole, leaving myself a slippery 3-footer. I trickled it in, and the lead was gone. I'll pop back in here and there the rest of the way, but for most of the rest of the match, I'll leave it to Brian.
3 down with 5 to play.
3 down with 5 to play. Adam has won 3 holes in a row. Made a par on the last. Casey could not convert on the 10-footer for par.
Birdied the par 5, parred the one before that, and we're even. We're all square. You don't say all square anymore.
Actually, yeah. We're tied. I believe they want you to say tied and not even all squared.
I love all square.
We're going to stick with all square. All square, 2 holes left, 2 par 4s, a diabolical 17th hole that takes driver out of your hand, and it's a real small green to hit into. Adam looks like he'll be first to play on the approach, as they've both hit pretty good tee shots with irons. And then, the finishing hole, nothing real special about it, just a par 4 uphill. And the comeback is not complete yet.
No.
Adam has just struck his approach. How far was that?
What?
How far was that?
121.
121. It looks like he's hit it to about 8 feet. A fantastic shot. Casey is next to play. The pressure is on. He looks like he's hitting it short and left. It did clear the water. He's going to have a very difficult up and down. Adam has a makeable birdie putt. Advantage Adam. Casey now has 6 feet to save par. He barely taps it, and it drips in. It drips in. He drops his putter. He almost had a heart attack. We thought Adam's approach on 17 got to 8 feet, but it ended up being about a 15-foot birdie putt. It was slippery. He hit a good one, but it rolled about 3 feet past. Adam now has 3 feet to also make par and take this match to 18, all square. We're going to stay live here because if Adam misses a 3-footer, I will throw my phone in the lake, but he's not going to. It's 2.5 feet. He is in. He is in. We're all square to 18. All right, driving up 18. Neither Adam nor Casey hit great tee shots, but we don't know about yours. I think so. I was just trying to set your expectations, just in case it wasn't.
Just like it could get through the fairway?
Yeah, like I didn't love the bounce it took. It didn't really bounce forward. It bounced like forward and left. You just might get unlucky behind one of these trees, whereas Casey's gone left enough that he'll probably be able to come up and over. Pin is a little bit left as well. Don't love that for you. There it is, I believe, right there. Yeah. If that's yours, let's take a look. Yeah. All right, Casey and Adam are going to be on the same line. Adam's got.
That's how good a shot one of us.
Adam's got 105. Casey's got 130. They both have tree trouble, so I don't really know what's going to happen here. I'm going to get out of the way. That much I know. So I thought they were like 130 away. I hear them talking and saying 115. I guess they're trying to go from being long. Casey is unsure of this shot, unsure of tree trouble, unsure of the line. But he's getting ready. He's about to swing. It's cleared the trees. It is well short of the green. I feel like they had a bad number there. I really do. Because I think he hit it about 110. I heard them saying 115, but I swear they had 130, and I think you have, 105 here?
Yeah, 110.
Yeah, so I don't know why they were saying 115, but anyway.
Tree and wouldn't have.
Gotcha. All right.
So what is it? So can you shoot the face of the green, where his ball is, basically? How hot do I want this to come in?
His ball is 72.
Okay, so it's quite a bit of room to roll.
Yeah, I believe so. Here he goes. He has to keep it low. Adam just clipped a branch. They are both short of the green. Adam will be first to play. All right, listen. I was going to say, when you were 3 down, if I would have offered you this right here, you would have taken it. It's going to be a chip off here. I like that you're going first. I like that you're going to put pressure on him. Take your time. Be great. Take your time and be great. Will he heed my my advice. All right, Adam probably has about 55 yards to a back pin here on 18. This needs to bite. This needs to bite. It releases a little bit. He's got probably 14 feet for birdie. It's a pretty good shot. Casey can do better. Casey's a little bit short-sighted from his angle. He's probably got about 40 yards. Good shot. All comes down to this. Casey needs it. 45 yard pitch shot out of Bermuda. Short-sighted to a back left pin. He's over the ball. He's clipped a pretty good one. Lands in the fringe. Comes out. It's pretty good. It is just inside of Adams on the complete opposite side of the hole. They will each have par putts for the belt. Adam for par to put the pressure on Casey. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
I thought it broke that way a little.
Oh my gosh.
We've been doing all day, but there's a few like you
Partner left.
You honestly don't.
Partner left center.
I don't think there's honestly anybody here.
Hey, could you pay attention to me? I'm trying to win a match here.
I know. It didn't want to hold that line.
His didn't move. This left.
I feel like I felt that slope, but the grain looked like it was going that way. Mine fell that way. It was a good putt. It was a good putt.
I think he's gonna make it.
Yeah, I think he's gonna make it for the win.
Pushed it.
No.
Pushed it.
All right, we're going extras.
The 19th hole was unceremonious. We tied it with no drama at all and headed to the par 5 second hole. We each hit great drives off the par 5 second, our 20th hole of the day, leaving us reasonable approaches into this par 5.
All right, hole 20. We're in the fairway. Casey's second shot, 220 away on this par 5. He has tugged it. It's left. It is in the water. It is in the water. Adam now is going to probably play safe. But he's still got to execute. He's got iron in hand. Playing from 217. He is going just right of the green. Yeah, it's a good shot there. He has missed the green right just where he was aiming. He's going to have moderately tricky 35, 40 yard pitch shot, but I mean, Casey's going to have to drop. He's going to have to drop, hit it over the water, try to get up and down just to make a par. It can be done. Casey can absolutely make a par here.
We've counted no chickens.
Yeah, no chickens have been counted. No chickens have been counted. Like your angle a little bit better on this one than you had 4 hours ago. Closer, shorter, not going over the hill. I don't remember if your last one ran away from you a little bit or not, but I don't even think it really matters. All right. Casey's probably got like 80 yards in. Probably got like 80, 90 yard shot over water. This is his fourth shot. All right, he's over the ball. He has sculled it. It is long. He is not in a good spot here. I mean, he can still chip it in for par, so obviously he's not going to concede, but Adam is now hitting his third shot. About half of the carry here is fairway. 25 feet of fairway. 25 feet of green. And try to get one up close. He hits a pretty good one. Stops about 6 feet short of the hole. He'll have about 6 feet for birdie. I am hanging back at Adam's golf bag with the belt because Adam has 2 putts from 6 feet to make a par, and Casey has a difficult 40-yard chip shot to make par. So if Casey doesn't jar this, the match is very likely going to be conceded, and the belt will remain with Adam.
Well, there's not much else to say. Casey did not jar his chip, and the match was conceded. I had come back from 3 down with 5 to play and retained my title as the Chasing Scratch heavyweight champion of the world. Here were my thoughts with Brian as we drove back to the clubhouse.
I'm gonna use this audio, so don't get too over the top, but get over the top. You did it. You did it.
That was satisfying.
Wow.
That was a satisfying victory.
I mean,
not gonna lie.
What do you think ESPN win probability was during the lowest point of the match?
I'd say like 12%, maybe. I'd say about 12. I think it was 88-12.
I had it about 90-10. 3 down with 5 to play.
Yeah. Took the next 3.
Yeah.
Then the 20th. That was something. That was a roller coaster of emotions.
I mean, honestly, the best part of this is that we're about to go hang out with 100 people who, not everybody's going to ask about it, but many will.
And we didn't play that great, so we get something to hang the hat on.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, you get something to hang the hat on. I'm going to drown myself in sorrow, but...
And bird.
No, I mean, we're 1 under, so...
No,
again, not great, but...
I think we're 7 back in the lead, but I think, someone shot 8 under. I think we're probably very middle of the pack to maybe upper middle of the pack.
Great match. Wow. That was
exciting.
That was fantastic. I'm very happy for you.
Thank you. I feel your joy.
I do.
I like...
Because again, especially when that one dude on the 10th green, when he found out that you were 3 down, he gave you like a, oh wow, but then 30 seconds later he gave Casey a, let's go, 3 up, let's go.
Woo!
Yeah.
He gave a woo!
It kind of was right in your face almost.
Yeah, it rubbed, and then I lost that hole and I was in my feels.
Yep.
I got deep into the bag today, I felt like. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I got deep into my bag. I was like, just dig my heels in and don't.
I mean, you managed to not win holes in a variety of ways. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah. He made some long putts he made a long putt on 9 to take away a win from me.
Yeah.
And it's high. And then on 10, so at 9 he does that.
Yeah.
10,
you both.
I have a huge advantage and botch it to where we tie. And
then 11, the turning point, maybe we can't find your ball, your drive.
Yep.
We find the ball and you make birdie.
Yep.
Woo. Wow.
I feel good. I feel good. This is why we golf, Brian.
This is why we golf. This is why we play.
We got back to the car and we were putting our clubs away, and I asked Brian, I said, do I bring the belt out for everybody? Do I wear it? What do I do here? And Brian said, well, I'll tell you what he would do. He would have it over his shoulder and he would tell everyone that you put up a better fight than expected. I said, yeah, that sounds about right. And he said, so what are you going to do? And I thought about it. And I said, yeah, you're right. And I put the belt in the trunk for the evening. I love to give Casey crap because he's given me crap, and he still has the audacity to believe that LeBron James, of all people, is a more well-rounded athlete than me. Ridiculous. But I love playing with Casey. This is the second chance I've gotten to do it, and I know we're going to do it again, perhaps even for the belt one day. But before then, there are some challengers for the belt, and perhaps you will hear about those in future dates. So thank you to Brian for narrating so much of this match. Thank you to Casey for being a great time to play with and for creating the belt in the first place. Thank you to Chasing Scratch for hosting such a great event. And thank you to you, the loyal listener, or even you, the slightly less loyal listener. We're even going to give you a shout out. But really, if I had lost this match, I would have been disappointed. Mainly because this outro music wouldn't have gone nearly as hard. We'll see you next time on the Bag Chatter Podcast.
Thanks so much for checking out the Bag Chatter Podcast. Hope you enjoyed the episode, and you already know how to subscribe to podcasts, so I'm not going to waste your time. You can find us on all the socials at Bag Chatter Golf or Brian Lane Golf, and you can check out everything we have going on at bagchattergolf.com. If you want more content from me and Adam, check out the Bag Chatter Deli. That is our Patreon, where we only serve the choicest portions of 4-ball ham and the leanest cuts of bone meat. For $5 a month, you get to support the pod, and you get a weekly episode of our Friday supporter-only podcast, Cold Cuts, Hot Takes. You can find that at patreon.com/bagchattergolf. You guys are the best. Thanks so much for listening.